Hey everybody, Ed Homewood, Old Guy Hi-Fi channel. I hope everyone's doing well today. Today should be a fun video. It actually is really interesting for me. We're going to talk about the Aiyima T3 Pro moving coil, moving magnet phono preamp. So sit back, relax, and we'll get started. So what is the Aiyima T3 Pro? It is a wonderful little moving magnet, moving coil phono preamp for only $100. Really nice, well done. Specs are great. I'll put them here. It does have a party piece. You can roll op amps in it. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But as far as features go, it's pretty basic, but the features that it has are very, I think, usable. It has a gain control. Obviously, depending on the output voltage of your cartridge, you may need to adjust that. I wound up leaving it just at max the whole time, whether it was moving magnet or moving coil. It does have a volume control. Now, here's the way you use that. You could have a turntable, this into a pair of powered speakers, or this into a small amplifier into speakers if you wanted to do a vinyl only system. I think that's pretty cool. I wound up leaving it max anyway because I needed full line level output to go into the amplifiers I was using, which had their own volume control. And then a power switch. On the back side, as you would expect, goes in as goes out is grounding lug, and of course your power input. Now on the bottom, it has the loading for the cartridges. So it has a subsonic filter, which is really nice. Now, what is a subsonic filter? Well, if you've ever seen a tone arm on a warped record go like this, every time it does that, it's also moving the cantilever in the cartridge, and that is creating a voltage, which is very low frequency because the oscillations are very slow, and your system tries to reproduce that low frequency. It could be 10 hertz, right? Your system's not really capable of doing that very well, and most speakers can't do that at all. And sometimes you'll actually see the speaker moving but not make any sound because the frequency's so low. Well, this cuts off all those frequencies, and I'll put that cutoff point right here. So it doesn't do that, protects your speakers, protects your amplifier. It also has loading. Now, for moving magnet cartridges, all of them are 47,000 ohm loading, but for moving coil, there's a variety of different settings. My cartridge, my AT cartridge happens to be 100 ohms, so I just left it at that, and it worked really well. It was really interesting. So, again, I mentioned you can roll op amps, so let's do that next. So let's open up the T3 Pro, and I went ahead and cheated a little bit and disassembled some stuff so you didn't have to watch me do it. So I'm going to slide the board out, and there are the op amps that we can roll. Now this one happens to be in a dip 8 socket because the pins were kind of bent. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and you're going to need to see this. This is an issue with this particular unit. You can see I have standard op amps in there. These are Burr Brown OPA 2604s, and these are JRC. And they work really well together, really nice. But to try to put anything bigger in there, like 1656s, or a 3602, or a Burson, forget it. When you put it back together, and I'm just sliding it in, and you can see I'm putting the front panel on here a little bit. See how close that comes, that rod that the screws go in the back comes to the actual op amp itself. It just makes it impossible to get a big op amp in there. So you got to use a standard size op amp. So again, you know, any of the standard size op amps, it comes with any 5532s, and that sounds fine that way. Sounds pretty good this way as well. Also too, on the bottom side, you can see the switches for changing the impedance loading and so forth. So it is a really well designed, really well laid out little unit. So I'm going to button it back up, and then let's talk about how it sounded. So how did the little Aiyima box perform? Well, it performed really, really well. I was completely taken with this little thing. $100, I was blown away. Anyway, I tried it with the stock op amps, the 5532s and the JRC 2608s, and it sounded really good. And I listened to that for a long time to get a baseline performance on it, and it was good right out of the box. Then I rolled the op amps, and I heard a bit of an improvement, a little bit more dynamics. This thing does really well with all frequencies. The bass was really good, good texture. All the nuance was revealed. It added no noise. It was very quiet background on this. It did a really good job with the RIAA equalization. There were no issues there. Mid-range was lush and warm and beautiful. The nice thing about this was I felt like it got out of the way. So when I was using my ATVM 540 ml moving magnet cartridge, that is a very dynamic cartridge. It's very good. It's not sparkly or hot or strident or forward like an OM2 red or an OM2 blue is. Much smoother, much more detailed, but deep bass, very good bass. Really good tracking. The microline needle goes deep into the groove, so you get a lot more information out of it. And this delivered. Now, when I was using my AT moving coil cartridge, and I'll put the model number in a picture of the unit right here, because I never remember the model number. That thing sounded wonderful. This was great. And with the right loading on it, and it was 100 ohms for this, it was really good. Out of the box, it was really good. Then I rolled the op amps in. I noticed the biggest difference with the moving coil cartridge with the different op amps in it, and it really performed quite well. It was very detailed, very smooth. I felt like there was a little bit more bass than with the rolled op amps versus the stock op amps, but stock out of the box, this thing delivers really good on bass. Mid-range was smooth. High frequencies were real detailed. Image was very well reproduced, really well. Again, I think this thing just did what it needed to do and got out of the way quite well. It did quite well. So anyway, I compared it against the following items. I got an Hifi Zen Air. This is the $100 Hifi. This does moving magnet, moving coil, but it only has just a switch on the back. You can't change the loading. I also tested it just moving magnet only with the DAC T3 Phono Preamp, and this does a decent job. It's okay. It's got meters, which are fun. And then I tested it against the Cambridge Alva Duo. Now this is a upscale moving coil, moving magnet phono preamp with a headphone amp built into it. This sounds very good, but it doesn't have any adjustments for loading. And one of the other issues with this is, and this drives me crazy, is it's got a separate input for moving magnet and a separate input for moving coil. So if you want to change cartridges, you've got to swap the RCA cables. It doesn't make any sense to me why they didn't put a switch on the front of it. Anyway, this does sound good, but that's a bit of a bugaboo for me because I change cartridges quite frequently. And honestly, it was as simple as flipping this thing over and changing the impedance loading switches on the bottom. Really, really easy. So anyway, highly recommend this. I think at $100, it's an absolute steal. And if you're into vinyl and maybe you're just getting started on your journey and you don't want to spend a lot of money, because I'll be honest with you, I'll put this thing up against phono preamps costing upwards of $300, $350, easy peasy. It really sounded that good. And the fact that you can roll op amps in it is really good. The sad thing is you can't put any big op amps in it, but there are a lot of good standard size op amps out there. So, again, you can tailor the sound to your own wishes. I really, really like this. Big endorsement, high praise for this. Really love it. So that is the Aiyima T3 Pro Phono Preamp. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that video about the little Aiyima box, and hopefully you'd be willing to give me your like and a subscription. Your subscription really does help the channel, as does your review. And thank you for all those who've subscribed and all my viewers. The more subscribers and views I get, obviously, the more amenable manufacturers are to loaning me gear for review, and we can have fun with all of that stuff. So please subscribe, please. There will be an affiliate link to this product in the pinned comment and in the video description. There will also be a channel membership link in the pinned comment and in the video description. There are some other Amazon affiliate links in there. I'm paring them down. You know how those work. I have playlists in there as well, links to those. There's a link to the community post playlist, and I highly encourage you to go check it out. There's some great music there. I just used one of the playlists recently for one of my reviews. Really good stuff. Comment, let me know, where are you at in your analog journey, in your vinyl journey. If you're just starting out, are you looking for a good phono preamp? Are you using the one that's built into your receiver or your integrated amplifier? Sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're, that's one area where they cut a little cost to, maybe hit a price point or whatever. This will absolutely be much better than almost any built-in phono preamp until you get upwards of an integrated amplifier or receiver, upwards of $1,000, maybe even a little higher. This will actually outperform those built-in ones. I really like it. I would pick this over the Ship Manny. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on vinyl and all of that other stuff in the comments, please. I think that's everything I need to say about the little Aiyima box. So please like, subscribe, comment. If you want to, you can follow me on Instagram. My name is Ed Homewood. This is the Old Guy Hi-Fi channel, and it's now your obligation to yourself to put on some beautiful music, sit back, relax, and enjoy the balance of your day. I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.